Hello, everybody. This is Geoff Shackley, drum instructor at Freeway Music. I work at both the Northeast location and the Irmo Ballantyne location, from which I am coming to you today. One thing, quick side note, I noticed in the last two videos that I did, I accidentally wore the exact same outfit 2 weeks in a row. I'm sure most of you are thinking, Geoff, nobody noticed, nobody cares, but I wanted to be safe, and so today I wore something completely different from top to bottom. And this is important because it shows you guys that you can be a full-time musician and also afford more than one shirt and one pair of pants. Now, this is not our lesson for the day, but it is important for you to know in case you think about making this a career. No, ladies and gentlemen, our lesson for today is going to be how to practice being able to play and sing at the same time. Now, the cool thing about this tip is that it is not drum specific. No, you can use this for any instrument that you play, as long as it does not require your mouth to make the sound of your instrument, okay? So, first things first, let's always think about it's good to start simple. Start with something basic, something that's easy for you to play. You don't have to dive right in at complex. The first song I ever decided to play drums and sing at the same time was a song called I Believe in a Thing Called Love by a band named The Darkness. The song is epic. If you don't know it, you should check it out. But for me, it was super simple because as a drummer, all I had to play was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's rock beat number one of the very first things I learned playing drums. I didn't have to think about that at all. So it was a perfect choice. I could just focus on the vocals because that was the part that I wasn't as comfortable doing. So start simple, start easy. But what do you do when you get to something that's more complex? Well, I can tell you from personal experience, you don't want to just completely dive right in and try and play and sing it all at the exact same time, up to speed or a little bit behind speed. You're going to fall flat on your face with a lot of songs. Sometimes you might not, but when you go for the more advanced stuff, you'll end up hurting yourself. So, what I discovered, and your tip for today is, it helps to be able to write it out. There is your tip. Write the part out. Okay? Admittedly, yes, you do have to be able to read and write music in order to do this. And if you can't read or write music, that is okay. It's not like that makes you a bad musician or anything like that. But I will argue every single day until I'm blue in the face that being able to read and write music makes you a better musician, and it helps you to become the best musician you can possibly be. So, if you cannot read and write music, let's get started on that. For those of you who can, this is how this tip works. First thing you do is figure out your part. Write that down. Then, you think about the vocal melody. What is the rhythm of the vocal melody? I then take that and I write that over the top of my drum part. And then that way I can see how every little rhythm, every little note actually lines up and how they all work together. So today, for an example, I've chosen one that is unfortunately relevant. This is a tune by the recently late but always great Bill Withers. And we are going to be looking at the chorus of his tune, Just the Two of Us. So, the drum part. First thing, for your hi-hat hand, right or left, depending on your open or close, that's just straight eighth notes. That's really simplistic. So again, we're keeping it fairly easy there. You don't have to worry about that. So then we just have to worry about the rhythm of the bass drum and the snare drum. That sounds something like this. Every measure is exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That repeats for all 8 measures. Now the vocal melody is a little bit different. That is a rhythm it's basically a 4-bar phrase. So you figure out the 4 bars of that, and then it will repeat one more time. This one also, for this particular tune, the vocal rhythm actually has a pickup note. It starts on beat 4 of the measure before the chorus. So counting that one out goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and e 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and You have to have the high part in there. It makes the song. So, you write that out. That same rhythm basically repeats for the second half of the chorus. The only difference would be is that the part where they have the 4 and 1 and instead of having the background vocals sing something, Bill Withers himself would sing 4E, same place, just a different rhythm. So, you write out your drum part. You write out your vocal part. You look at it and you see where every single note lines up. And then you take it nice and slow and you start practicing it, putting the whole thing together. And hopefully, when it's done, it will sound something a little like this. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Ta-da! Now, as I mentioned, this is a multi-instrumental tip, okay? It doesn't just have to be for drummers. For all of you other instrumentalists, here's how you can do this. You can make this as simplistic or as complex as you like. I like to keep things simple, so the simple end of this is that you can just write out the rhythm of what you are playing, okay? You don't have to write out all the notes. You don't have to write out every single chord, every single note of your bass line, every single 20 billion notes that you're playing at the same time as a piano player. You don't have to worry about those unless you need them. That's important. You know, you take this to the extent that you need in order to reach your goal. So you just write out the rhythm of what you're playing, and then write out the rhythm of the vocal part on top of that. And like I said, same thing. You can dissect it. You can look where every single note lands. It's like this note goes right along with this chord, or this hi-hat, or right in between these two notes here. And it makes it so much easier for you to figure everything out. And with everything that you practice, the more you do it, you know, the less you have to do it. You know, I've gotten to a point that I don't have to write down every single complex song that I have, but I do still occasionally run into ones that are really tough, and I have to write the whole part out. Now, why do this? Why learn how to play and sing at the same time? Well, there's a myriad of reasons, but to look at a few of the most important ones. First off, if you like to play and you like to sing, doing both at the same time can be a lot of fun. The next one, and very important, is that this now makes you a more valuable band member. This is very important. Okay, so you can play a shredding guitar solo, and that's awesome. That makes you very valuable. But then Joe Blow from down the street shows up, and he can play an equally face-melting guitar solo, but he can also add some sweet oohs and ahs to the song. Who's going to get the job? Oohs and ahs guy. So, you being able to do that, you now add a completely new dimension to the band, and that makes you much more valuable. The other thing is that if you can play and sing at the same time, it also opens up an opportunity for you to form your own band. You know, not a lot of people get to just be the singer. You have to be able to do multiple things. So you can use this tip to practice any songs that you might want to do to form your own cover band, or if you write your own music, you can front your own band. So, all important stuff. Cool thing to be able to do, play and sing at the same time. So just remember, write this stuff out, practice with a metronome, practice low and slow up front just to make sure you've completely got it under your hands, feet, fingers, lips, whatever. And then you can start speeding it up. That will be it for this particular tip, from me anyway. Be sure to check out any of the other content being created by our other great teachers here at Freeway Music. We've got all sorts of different instrumentalists putting things out right now. If you guys have anything that you would like to learn, anything that you would like to see from us, or, just a fun, quick breakdown of a tune, something like that, please feel free. Leave it in the comments. Let us know, because then we can try and deliver content to you that you want to see, not just content that we think you would like. Help us. Help you. So that, as I mentioned, that is it for me today. You guys stay safe, have fun, practice often with a metronome, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.